Making his way to the cage, Mr. ELIAS Rodriguez.
Well, I don't know how you top that energy right there.
Hey, that's a tough one to top. But, Josh, this kid right here is another one who is a disciple of martial arts. He's a lifelong kid who's trained for years upon years now. ELIAS Rodriguez is someone who I have anticipated watching for quite some time, ever since this card came out. Simply because this kid has been tearing up the scene on the jiu-jitsu mats for years upon years. He does teach MMA classes along with Corey Sandhagen over at high altitude just down the road here in Aurora, Colorado. So if a team in a school that is that world-renowned and recognized puts the trust into a 21-year-old kid, that's going to be something that you have to at least, you got to respect game.
Game, respect, game.
This Elevation Fight Team product also does his strength and conditioning out of Landau Performance. He is currently 2-0. He is cornered by the great Corey Sandhagen as well as Coach Christian Allen. He's done a lot of training this camp with UFC vets like Dustin Ortiz. He also gets his training in with a bright young prospect who just got a huge win a couple weeks ago on the LFA card in Miguel Perez. And then naturally, Corey Sandhagen.
I think it's funny. He says, why do you fight? You ask him, why does he fight? He says, I like it. I'm decent at it. I was bad at baseball.
Gotta love that.
Gotta love the honesty.
You know, folks, and when I do these interviews with these fighters that we mentioned throughout this questionnaire, they're fresh off of cutting weight. So sometimes
you're gonna get
it's even more entertaining to get some of the answers that we do. And I love that all of these guys and girls are so willing to engage in our process just to make the show better for everybody involved. Now, making his way to the red corner, we have DeAndre Neros. DeAndre Neros is a veteran of our Colorado Combat Club cage. He had a big win in his last fight, a toughly contested matchup against Johnny Lucero. He's 27 years old. He's originally out of Dallas, Texas. He fights now out of Gracie Barra Pueblo and Merck Jiu-Jitsu in Colorado Springs. He's a collegiate wrestler. He's also a wrestling coach. You're going to see a big difference here as far as the length and reach difference, but again, you have some of those wrestlers that are kind of built like a fire hydrant. He's short and thick, but he's strong, and his kid can flat out wrestle.
Yes, he can. I remember watching his fight last time we called it. Absolute amazing non-stop action from beginning to end. And you know, he's coming off, he's a fresh blue belt. He just got his blue belt, so I'm excited to see how he implements his jiu-jitsu game here against ELIAS Rodriguez.
Certainly, and when you talk to a guy like DeAndre Nero, he has grand visions in the big picture. Eventually, he says that he wants to be able to create a platform for himself through his fighting career and coaching career to where he's able to set up a foundation and a scholarship to help the next generation.
That's amazing to hear. You love hearing that from fighters, what they want to do for the next generation to help them out.
And just all around a good kid. You know, we've interacted with him obviously through our previous Colorado Combat Club cards, and just one of those kids who comes in and he has a big smile on his face the entire time. He was smiling in the base off. He's just one of those guys who has that bright, positive energy about him. Like, hey, man-on-man competition is nothing to me. I wrestled my entire life, wrestled through college. It is what it is. Might as well have fun and smile in the process.
Whistle while you work, Curtsy. Whistle while you work.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout is out of the bantamweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the big knee red and blue corner. He weighed in at a ready 135.6 pounds. He comes to us.
We do see a little bit of the two contrasting ends of the temperament scale right now. You have ELIAS Rodriguez over there pacing like Mike Tyson, looking like a
He's ready to go.
Killer. And then you have DeAndre, like I say, who's chill as a cucumber.
Cool, calm, and collected.
And his opponent fighting out of the sheath on the red corner. He weighed in at a ready 135.2 pounds. He also comes to us with a perfect record of 1 win and no defeats. He represents Gracie Barra Pueblo. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Mr. DeAndre NERO. Gentlemen, I gave you instructions earlier tonight. I expect a clean, fair fight. Protect yourself at all times.
I'll obey my commands at all times. Any questions? Touch them up. Let's do it.
I feel like DeAndre Neros wins the award for not the greatest go-to meal after a fight. He says he wants to drink a body armor.
You know what? It's healthy.
It's healthy.
I'll give him that. And both guys meet in the middle. Referee Tim Mills is the third man in the cage.
You definitely see contrasting styles here as Elias comes out with a nice jab, rear kick.
But a strong blend right away. Good level change on the timing right there from DeAndre.
Nice striking from Elias. These kicks are flying out tonight. Nice jab.
Stiff jab right there by Elias Rodriguez. That was close to a knee to the face. That is something that DeAndre has always throughout his career doesn't have to be cognizant of as a wrestler.
Especially as a short wrestler too.
I tell you what though, Elias Rodriguez looks smooth.
Looks very smooth. You know, these two young guns back to back out of elevation are just, they look like absolute studs.
Certainly. I mean, Colorado as a whole, and especially Denver, is such a hotbed of talent. And these kids, like we say, he's been someone who's trained for so many years now, and he's just finally getting a chance to put it all together.
Attacking the Kimura, but ends up on the back in reverse triangle almost. Gives up on it, and he is up and out.
But the chain wrestling from DeAndre Nero went from the single leg and then gets himself back up against the fence, looking to pump and dump with the double leg.
We do have some blood, Curtsy.
First blood drawn by Elias Rodriguez right to the nose of DeAndre Nero. Nero looking to, or excuse me, Elias Rodriguez looks like he's potentially trying to hit a switch.
Elias doing a good job here. Needs to get his legs back. As he does, cuts the corner, gets around to the back.
Now, while DeAndre has the advantage in the wrestling department, Elias has a definitive advantage in the jiu-jitsu department. This has been a kid who's been cleaning up medals in tournaments from the time that he was knee-high to a grasshopper.
And here
As
we
he
go.
starts to work on that head and arm, that modified grip right there, especially with the rear naked grip, that is so filthy.
That is so tight. Gives up on it. Decides to just posture up and throw some bombs.
But that's especially, that just works on affecting the breathing of DeAndre, especially with DeAndre. That's tight, that's tight. And there is the
With
tap
an
by
arm
Elias
in.
Rodriguez right there.
Wow.
Arm in on that triangle. Hey, tough fight between the two of them right there.
Great
Tremendous
fight
sign
from
of
both
respect.
guys.
Gotta love to see it right there as far as the respect goes. Obviously some disappointment on that side from DeAndre Nero, but he will be back and he will get better from this. A kid like Elias Rodriguez though, Josh, we might be looking at thoroughbred.
Wow, that kid is an absolute stud. Moving the record to 3-0. Yes, absolute. His striking looked phenomenal, Curtsy. His ground game, just transition after transition.
You know, I knew that kid was going to bring something special to the cage. I didn't know that we were going to see that polished of a skill level already.
Yeah, that's a very highly skilled amateur fighter.
Josh, the way that he was able to switch stances, be fluid, and just the dexterity within his hips to kick from both sides, to not really show a tendency for a strong versus a weak side, phenomenal. And then once it got to the grappling transitions, he was able to outmaneuver the wrestlers. And now the official word.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee Tim Mills steps in at 2 minutes and 29 seconds of the first round, declaring your winner via
Spirit by
submission.
DeAndre. Gotta love that kid.
Still smiling.
Gotta have a word from our winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, Mr. Elias Rodriguez. So, sir, I have to say, first and foremost, welcome to the club. And then I also have to say, I saw a very similar Corey Sandhagen style, hands out jab, really mean low kick. So if I see Christian down in the corner was striking like the way to go, and he's going to fall into the submission.
I call that submission the David Nick. I do it all the time. It's like one of my favorites. As far as striking goes, yeah, I got all my stuff in Corey Christian.
It's Is there some people you'd like to thank in the house?
Yeah, I want to thank my parents, my siblings, everybody that came out today, man. So many people. Appreciate y'all, all the support. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Mr. Elias Rodriguez.
Hey, Elijah Smith. I hope you guys get as everybody says you are, man, because I want to step in the cage with you. Let's go.